Captain's Log Supplemental. Well, the day's finally here, and I've been on my feet all morning during the shakedown inspection of our brand new ship. We got the last Intrepid off the line. There's apparently some paperwork issue with the commissioning. We don't have a name for it yet. We'll get there eventually. We're going to have to fill out the crew anyway, so we're going to be in dock for a few weeks. But the shakedown inspection has been going pretty well. Everything looks good. I don't know what they pump into these things, but it's still got that new ship smell that is just, it's intoxicating. I did have one minor issue. I had to break up an altercation between two of my ensigns. Apparently they came to blows over who would get to peel the protective film off the main viewer. Well, I sent them to really make sure there are enough rivets in the nacelles while I take the captain's prerogative and peel this bad boy myself. Whew, it's good to be in charge.
Welcome back for another episode of Captain's Log Supplemental. My name's Rob, and I'm joined by my two friends and co-hosts, Stanford.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hey there, ho there.
Rob, we are more officially joined by someone else this week.
Oh?
Yes, we are actually getting producer Mariah more formally into her role, so she can actually
snap.
Say stuff without it sounding like she's sneaking up behind me and shouting over the back seat.
I'm still watching you.
Does this mean we need to get you a band that can roll you in and then out of the conversation, like a late night TV show?
I'd love that.
I did not know
show.
Until you said late night TV show what kind of band you were referring to. Like a rubber band.
Yeah, I was picturing a rubber band pulling me on my rolling chair to roll me into the office.
Boing.
So, Mariah, since you've actually not been introduced on the podcast other than that producer lady that makes fun of us every once in a while, can you give us just a quick blurb about yourself and your experience with Star Trek?
I was not prepared for this at all.
I know, that's why it's going to be excellent.
Thought we would just record me. Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Mariah.
Hi, Mariah.
Hi, Mariah.
Hi.
I'm Matthew's wife. I'm Rob's sister-in-law.
Ooh, we haven't told that story yet.
And my friend.
And Chris's very good friend. Chris and I share our hate for Elf on a Shelf.
Oh yeah, that's getting play right now.
As far as my Star Trek experience, I did watch The Next Generation a lot when I was younger because my stepmother watched it, and she also watched TOS a lot, but in the middle of the night. So when I would get up to go to the bathroom at 2:00 in the morning, I would see those weird gold shirts on the TV. And that's about it.
Excellent. Any hobbies that we should know about?
I don't think there are any now.
Maybe some you don't need to know about.
He is referring to the fact that I am a knitter. I'm a very prolific knitter, and I teach knitting classes on the weekends at my local yarn store. And while I'm producing, I'm usually knitting, and I am currently working on a knitting pattern. That is why I'm at my desk, because I needed my computer, and he was like, well, you should record on your mic and sound official. So
I just realized that we need you to now make the official Captain's Log Supplemental scarf pattern. You put the Federation chevron at the end of it.
I was thinking it would be funny if she knit us all Star Trek uniforms.
Oh God, that would take forever.
Oh, and
I'm not. We could host a Christmas special.
Oh, but they're so itchy.
Yeah, Matthew does not like to wear my knitted garments.
Oh, they're so itchy.
Don't be rude.
I try so hard, but they're so itchy. I have sensitive skin, apparently.
He's sensitive. He's very sensitive.
Well, thank you for indulging me there. Now you can sneak back into your producer booth.
Wow.
Bye.
Bye.
one more thing, one more bit of business before we get down to the actual episode too, Rob. I got an email like yesterday, and it was like from Spreaker, which is the distribution system I use for the podcast. It says like, you got a comment on one of your episodes. And the email was very like, oh, there's talk about you. What's going on? And I'm like, oh shit, we got a comment. I went to go to Spreaker to see the comment. Yeah, it was Chief saying that episode that he was in was his favorite.
That's not surprising at all.
It's like, thanks, Dad. Thanks. You're our number one fan.
Did he change it to 5 stars?
No, that's on Podcast Addict, and he still hasn't because he doesn't really like us that much, apparently.
Yeah, he is our number one fan in the sense of chronological order.
That's exactly right.
So yeah, I guess speaking of like podcast downloads, we would appreciate it if y'all would take the time to rate and review us, and I don't know, talk about us to your friends, help spread the word.
Do it.
Oh, what's
ratings and all.
What's with these professional segues?
Yeah, right. They go a long way to help us reach out to other Star Trek fans. So,
or people who just like listening to us talk. They don't have to like Star Trek.
Or more members of our extended family, as it turns out.
Mm. Yeah, Chris, when's your brother going to start listening?
Okay, so funny side story to this, now that you mentioned him.
Oh, God.
He is a big Star Trek fan. But just to let you know how bad both, mainly him, but also me, are communicating with each other, I found out like a month after that he is now engaged. Didn't call me, didn't do anything.
Oh.
Like he even messaged me after I found out and didn't say anything about it. He was asking me about a game I was playing.
Oh, well, as long as he's communicating about the important stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, this is how we talk to each other, which is not at all.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know y'all were like estranged.
No, it's not even that either. It just he and I, although I've at least made somewhat of an effort to reach out, are just very bad at proactively communicating with each other. Not on bad terms or anything. It's like,
right. Well, don't worry. There's nothing more passive aggressive than talking about it on your podcast.
There you go. Exactly. Keeping up the tradition.
There you go. This is the real therapy for us each week.
That's right.
So yeah, what'd you guys think about this week's episode, huh? Marauders?
Look,
Marauders?
Or I'm sorry, not Marauders, Singularity?
Oh,
yes.
It's funny you say Marauders because like I literally edited that episode. It's going out on Monday today. So nice. You're like Marauders. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it was fine. Although I want to share with you guys a little bit of trivia that I found on it. Apparently on this episode, one of the back screen like galley computers has the menu for the week.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go ahead and read it off to you.
Is that, oh yeah, because it did it showed Hoshi's like grandmother's recipe up close. So like, I'm not surprised.
All right. So this is apparently the menu for 8/12 through 8/22. Thursday, fried chicken, scalloped potatoes, Monero and spinach.
Oh,
Friday,
fuck.
Grilled trout almondine, rice pilaf, green beans. Saturday, filet mignon, grilled curled onions. I'm not sure what that is. Green peas. Carnegie's. Go ahead.
A grilled curled onion is just a grilled. It's another way to just say grilled onions as opposed to sautéed.
Well, that's dumb.
Because they curl up.
Carnegie style cheesecake. Sunday, grilled vegetable panini, green olive caviar, peach cobbler. Peach cobbler. Monday, Grandma DeRosa's lasagna. Who is Grandma DeRosa? Is there a DeRosa on this ship we don't know about?
How's DeRosa spelled?
D-I, like capital D-I, capital R-O-S-A. DeRosa. Don't know who that is. Garlic bread, mixed green salad. Tuesday, 3-course fondue. Bread and green apple and cheese. Lamb and beef and soy. Red apples and strawberries and chocolate. Champagne, optional. Wednesday, grilled Vietnamese pork crepe. Steamed rice. Plomic tea. Thursday, roast duck with raspberry sauce, asparagus and ginger, twice baked potato. Friday, noodle kugel, brisket, cabbage. Saturday, grilled alpine surprise, French fries, Argelian coleslaw. Sunday, home-style barbecue. Bring your own bib.
God damn it, that last fucking line.
Yep.
What do we think the grilled Alpine, what do we think the surprise is in grilled Alpine surprise?
Pine cones.
God damn it. That's what's alpiney?
Snow.
Yeah, it's just
Glaciers.
It's just
It's
snow.
it's gotta be a food, right? So it's like is it like a rabbit?
Yeah, maybe.
Huh.
What's the surprise?
I like how there's not dessert every night.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, you don't need dessert every night. You got to watch your sugar intake. You got to stay fit. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because I thought it was interesting that they took the time to put all that out there.
Now I want to do
fun.
like the Star Trek Enterprise like retreat weekend where you make all of these things as the meals.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, these sound all pretty good.
Yeah.
Bring your own bib.
Yeah. What do you think? What style do you think it is of barbecue? We think a little Kansas City.
It says it right there. It says home style. I know
Shut the fuck up.
So now,
Nashville
Chris,
barbecue.
like, what is your preference in barbecue now that you grew up here, but then now you live near Kansas City?
Oh, Casey barbecue for sure, man.
Oh,
It's
okay.
best.
All right.
So like even like back home.
So
You get to stay.
I will say, like, the Texas style brisket, ooh mama, delicious.
But like also like Texas style brisket can have any kind of barbecue sauce on it, right? Because it's more in the smoking of the meat.
True. Yeah. So good though.
Like having never lived in a major like barbecue place, I've always preferred Kansas City barbecue.
Interesting. It's probably the
you?
most approachable. Me, I fucking grew up in Kansas City. What do you think?
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe you're one of those hometown
Yes.
haters. I don't know.
Yes, I went from loving Kansas City barbecue to moving out to Pennsylvania where there is none.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Kansas City barbecue. And don't get me wrong, I like all barbecue. I have never met barbecue I would not stuff immediately into my face.
Solid point.
But
I do appreciate a good St. Louis rib.
there is a nostalgia to that brown sugar taste that like I just can't shake.
Yeah. A little sweet meat.
It's so good.
All right, I guess we
Okay.
should review this dumbass episode.
I was gonna say, now that we've got the best part about this episode out of the way.
Seriously, man. I feel like you guys have like thrown me into the just recurring loop of having mediocre episodes to talk through. Spoiler alert, again, just like last time, not a huge fan of this one.
This one wasn't, I would say this one's not as bad as Marauders. That episode was
It is not.
spectacularly bad.
Yeah, it was very bad. Yeah, no, this is well, we'll get to the ratings, I guess, at the end, but yeah.
Yeah, that Marauders failed on multiple fronts. This was, I think, primarily just a bad story that they extended too far because they realized it couldn't fill out a full episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think I mentioned this to you earlier in the week, but like the storyline of crew is affected by, X thing and they're acting out of, instinct or heightened emotions or what have you is something that's been done in other Star Treks. Like there was an episode.
It was in Lower Decks like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
It was in Lower Decks. It was in Next Generation when
Original series.
When Sarek is like telepathy is like, affecting everybody. It was in original series. I hadn't seen the episode, but I did read that as well. So
right. It happened in Voyager a couple times too.
This is a well-visited topic in the Star Trek universe.
Oh, can I do a dramatic reenactment of the cold open?
Sure. Go, okay. Take it away.
All right. Science officer's log. This sucks. Science officer out.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of passed out, and T'Pol's just like, "Yeah, shit sucks right now. I don't know what to tell you."
Yeah. Yeah, so that is the kickoff to the episode, right? T'Pol's delivering a star log as the acting science officer / only conscious crew member left. And we find out that she is working all by herself now to help heal the crew, because evidently she's immune to whatever was affecting the rest of them. Although, I don't know if it was just her trying to act very tense. It seemed like she was under duress while she was delivering these lines. I don't know.
Her mood throughout the entire episode, I had trouble reading because I understand she's a Vulcan, so she's supposed to be relatively emotionless. But I wasn't sure if, like, is she supposed to be also feeling the effects, but is just able to control it better? But then she later just straight up said, like, Vulcan physiology is immune. So I don't know if she was just, I don't know, she just seemed like she was acting in a way that is like, like stressed or under duress or whatever.
Yeah. It was really, it wasn't really explained, and the way that her health was explained made you think that she was completely immune, but I don't know. Maybe she was just acting tough. So yeah, we get some Faith of the Heart, and then drop back in with a flashback from a few days prior with T'Pol talking about this system being unique because it features a black hole as a member of a trinary star system.
I'm not like the biggest fan of that storytelling technique. The like show us everything sucks and then flashback thing. I find it tired at this point.
I mean, it has been used in any number of
all
things.
Of them. All of
for
the
sure.
Things.
But I think it's fine, once in a while to do that. It's not like the normal.
I don't think I can name a show where it didn't happen. Like every show seems to have it, even shit like Friends and stuff.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Battlestar Galactica had one.
Look, there are no new ideas, okay? We just need to break things up occasionally.
Fair enough.
Archer asks Trip to take a look at his captain's chair. Apparently it's super uncomfy, and he just slips out of it every time he leans in real hard.
Which, by the way, just leaning right into the whiny bitch that he is as a captain.
Yeah. It immediately made me think back to that Reddit post we saw about how, like, if that's how the show had started, would have turned that reader right off.
And I guess they're going 2 days at impulse speed. It's a lot of time dilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. T'Pol drops off her duty roster and notes that Chef has come down with a virus. And Hoshi offers to step in and prep some food for the crew in his absence.
My note here is, they got Hoshi cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Got the woman in the kitchen.
Archer asks T'Pol to review a preface he's been asked to write for a manuscript on his father. He's having a hard time keeping it to a single page, though. I think at one point he hits like double digits when he's
16
writing.
16 pages or whatever.
Yeah.
T'Pol here gave some good writing advice, although I watched this episode like last weekend, so I don't remember what the advice was. But like, if you want some good writing advice, go back and watch that.
It was basically use an anecdote. So like pick something you remember.
That's
like,
right. Tell a single
situation.
story. That's right. That exemplifies, yes. Because writing a preface, I will say, is not fucking easy.
That was some real humble brag there.
Oh, I've never done it. Oh my God. No. That's too hard for me. Nope. No.
So Hoshi wants to prepare some family Japanese cuisine for the crew. One of her grandmother's specialties, fish cake stew.
She's making a soup or a meal.
Yeah.
Soup.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard the entire menu I read earlier, right?
It was supposed to be a stew. This is a birdcage reference. Very topical. So they say something kind of interesting here because the one dude's like, what do you want to make? And I guess the crewman, the galley crewman. And she's like, I'm going to make this stew or this soup. Which I don't know. It may be a little incorrect to just call it a soup because it is a little more complicated than like it's not like a bowl of chicken noodle, right? It's more like a thick kind of ramen situation going on. But anyways, okay. Anyways, he's like, well, you have to let me know what it is so I can program the resequencers. And she's like, no, I'm making this bitch from scratch.
Yeah.
I guess the resequencers are just a replicator then? Like, is that just how they work?
It's unclear. Like, the way they reference them, it sometimes sounds like that, but like, do they just like what are they doing? I
don't know that we ever do, but I have yet to see one operate, so I don't know what it's doing. Because obviously the ship has a chef, so like, they're usually not cooking from that. But the dude was also like, I'm gonna replicate stuff. So, like, are the ingredients usually replicated?
Resequenced. Whatever the fuck
Resequenced,
that
Sure.
means.
Yeah.
I feel like, I think the replicators, the difference is the replicators are making something out of essentially nothing, whereas the resequencers are just taking like mashed up protein
Right, X
and
protein.
recombinating the different amino acids into whatever proteins they
into
want.
chicken or yeah.
Okay. Okay. I
I'm
guess
assuming-
I was under the impression that the resequencer wasn't able to do very much. And that's why it was like a more of a ration kind of dealio. Like it's like,
I mean-
if you have to go get some resequencer porridge or whatever.
Yeah,
But this one line makes it seem like the resequencer can basically just make real food. Although if it takes some sort of raw material, that's fine, you know.
well, a couple of the characters have noted earlier in the show that it doesn't taste great. Like it doesn't taste like the real thing. It's just similar enough, you know.
Right.
Yeah, like the replicator creates things out of energy, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas the resequencer is like that's the impression that I was under. That it's just like, here is this gelatinous blob of protein. It's now steak.
Yeah.
Shit, I'd eat that steak.
We cut over to the sick bay and see Phlox acting a little weird and paranoid when Travis stops by to complain about a headache. Trip is still working on Archer's chair, much to T'Pol's annoyance, in the middle of the bridge while everyone's trying to work. And apparently Vulcans have sensitive hearing.
Oh my god, that line! Because Trip's like, I thought Vulcans were supposed to be captains of discipline or whatever, and she's like, we also have sensitive hearing, and just like the dripping disgust in that line was just well executed. Very
Yeah,
nice
yes.
line.
I heard
That was
you
a good
fart
line.
earlier.
I don't know what Trip was doing to the chair. It looked like he was like high speed polishing the base of it.
Right.
Yeah, he's buffing it out.
He's drilling. He's drilling something. He's tightening nuts. I don't know.
Archer stops by security. Reed's concerned that the crew is taking too long to respond to emergency situations, and Archer reminds him that this isn't a warship, but asks that Reed take his proposals to the other senior officers for review.
So of course he goes to his bestie,
Well,
Trip.
Mm-hmm.
why is a ship-wide emergency alert not like already a thing?
Well, I guess
Yes.
the implication was that it was like the only shipwide alert was battle stations. I guess this is different somehow.
Yeah, now it's battle stations with klaxons, as we hear later.
Read alert.
But like they're
Read
a
alert.
military.
Shh. It's fine.
Okay, all right.
They're totally not a military junta. Don't worry about it.
Not yet.
Yeah, we get the customary mess hall scene, which is where we see Trip weirdly obsessed with this project to upgrade the captain's chair for Archer. And Reed's being super grumpy because no one wants to look at his security protocols. And Hoshi is making sure that everybody enjoys their Odin.
Of course, the Brit complains of too much flavor.
Yeah, right? Too much salt.
Although, to be honest, of too much flavor, a Brit complaining about salt is real fucking rich.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, everything's salt and butter, right?
Have you met my wife?
I've met your mother-in-law.
Jesus Christ. Refilling that salt shaker every goddamn week.
Phlox keeps running a myriad of tests on Travis. He can't figure out what's causing Travis's headache and insists on keeping him for observation, like not even releasing him back for his shift, even though all he's got is a headache. Archer's still struggling to put his preface to paper and starts getting flustered with the best boy Porthos.
Oh my god, my note here is, oh, you feed that goodest boy right now.
Right.
And then my next note is, oh, don't yell at him.
Yes, mine was give him the num-nums.
Yeah, he was yelling at Porthos. I was
Give
like,
him
oh
some
no.
cheese. So this is the point, I think, where you're supposed to recognize that something's clearly causing some paranoia and aggravation with the whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
T'Pol asks Trip to help identify some radiation she detected in her analysis of the black hole. Trip gets very agitated and leaves when she's not willing to comment on his work on Archer's chair. Phlox once again refuses to let Travis leave sickbay, And at this point, Travis is getting worried about disciplinary action if he doesn't show up to work.
Time for a cerebral microsection.
The thing with Trip is he's like the most important member of the crew is the captain, and my note is most important member of most crews, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was a pain in the ass pun right there too. That was pretty good. Because he's like, the chair would be a pain in the ass.
Oh,
excellent,
yeah.
Excellent pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Phlox knocked old
Oh,
Travis out.
Yeah, convinces him to take an analgesic, which is really just a ploy to knock him out and strap him down into the bed.
Which, by the way,
go ahead.
Just the tone shift of Phlox.
Oh yeah, being fucking evil. Yeah,
should have given Travis a heads up as maybe don't take that analgesic.
Right.
You have to stay here. At least take an analgesic.
Yeah, I feel like Travis the prankster should have had a better bullshit detector.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point where I wrote, man, I hope this productivity radiation isn't real because capitalists would abuse the hell out of it.
We'd all have very short and productive lives. It'd be fine. Reed joins Trip in engineering to demo some extremely annoying klaxons. And Hoshi's still trying to perfect her grandmother's stew. She just screams at the sous chef for trying to get her to actually serve some food to the crew because she just won't let him release it or for whatever.
By the way, I was screaming at my screen when I watched this because Hoshi took a ladle of her soup, sipped it, and then plopped the rest of the ladle back into the pot.
It's boiling. It's fine.
No! Don't do that.
It's boiling. It's fine.
You don't know if it was boiling. It could have just been simmering.
That's still fine. It's plenty.
No,
it only needs to be 135 in order to kill
It's a hot tub for bacteria.
Yeah, it's a hot tub for bacteria.
And I'm pretty sure she called what's-his-face an idiot sandwich. That's what I heard anyway.
The space or the spit is what gives it its flavor.
It's the love. That's when people say that love, they mean their spit.
They mean spit. Sometimes hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, love is actually backwash. I don't know if you knew that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't drink after children. Oh my god, they're the worst. How are there so many particles in your mouth?
They don't actually chew their food. T'Pol visits Reed, who's now reaching high levels of paranoia. He's carrying a sidearm at all times with him, and started to realize that the whole crew was affected by whatever was agitating Trip. Archer visits Trip and to help Trip size the new chair, right? And he is uninterested in Archer's preface work. And Archer is annoyed by Trip's lack of interest in his writing.
By the way, Trip said he's going to build a throne.
Yep, I'm going to build you a throne. Excellent. And also, he got to scan that ass.
Should be throne, porcelain.
Mm-hmm. I mean, his captain style is shit, so, there's that.
Yeah.
And this is where I noted, I like how the best I'm working too hard acting that Bakula can pull off is just seeming kind of sleepy.
T'Pol, Archer, and Hoshi are back in the kitchen now when Reed sets off his new tactical alert as a test. Archer heads to the bridge, apparently relatively slowly, to berate Reed for the exercise, and Trip shows up to show off the new captain's chair and gets into a fistfight with Reed over whose work is more important.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. That chair looks pretty hot. That was a cool chair.
So yeah, now that we've completely played out this whole exercise, all of this was essentially the writers just building up to the fact that everybody's angry, annoyed, and paranoid about everything around them. This was a solid 2/3 of the episode. Mm-hmm. It was entirely too much time to spend on this point.
We're in Act 3. Well, so I don't agree that it was too much time to spend on it, but I do agree that all the time was wasted because of how they ended up wrapping. I think this buildup was fine until everyone fell unconscious, and then it was well, then what was the point of all that?
Right. Yeah, so T'Pol, at this point, visits Archer in his quarters, to express concern at everyone's outbursts. And Archer dismisses and then forcibly removes her from his quarters. She goes to inform Phlox, only to find out that he's trying to extract part of Travis's brain.
Only a couple of millimeters, only like 21 millimeters or whatever.
Just a tiny microsection.
Sure. Yeah, that's all.
Anyway.
She uses the Vulcan neck pinch to knock him out and save Travis.
Pinchy, pinchy.
Pinchy, pinchy. And then leaves sickbay to find all of her fellow crew members unconscious all over Enterprise.
Convenient. And see, that's what I mean.
Just hit everybody at once.
That's the part where it was like, it would have been a more interesting plot if she was having to like deal with everybody on her way to saving the day, instead of
just
like
walking through the corridors full of knocked out people.
Right, instead of just like, well, everyone's now conveniently unconscious, but also we're going to be able to rouse Archer, which is some loud word, so that he can help.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought that was. I'm like, what? What is?
Like, why even involve him at that point? She should have just like handled everything. Like that would have been at least somewhat of a better story, as like her figuring out a way to engineer herself out of the problem.
And also, like, what is he just all of a sudden able to resist the radiation? And
yeah, he's just sleepy.
It's just
he's a sleepy little guy.
Listen, be able to act regularly, mostly, except be a little sleepy. Yeah, like what
he used the power of friendship and determination, Chris.
The power of wanting to be on screen.
Yeah, so after her analysis completes, T'Pol realizes that the radiation is indeed the cause of everyone's illness, and goes back to visit Archer, throws him in a cold shower, because I forgot once again that we don't have sonic showers yet, and just gives him a stern talking to until he finally understands the situation. She tasks Archer with flying the ship past the black hole while she charts their course. So at this point, they're inside of the accretion disk of the black hole with a whole bunch of other debris, and they got to get out.
Look at Rob with his fancy terms.
Yeah.
Now, I watched that Matthew McConaughey movie, so like when they come out of there, it's going to be like thousands of years later. Or whatever.
Right.
This little maneuver is going to cost us 50 years. Yeah, cut to Archer struggling at the helm while T'Pol is struggling to give him instructions he can understand.
I understand that Bakula is doing the best he can. His acting is awful, but I don't know what that joystick is accomplishing, because Bakula is throwing fucking thing all over the place with his like, I'm going to pass out, blah, it's bullshit. That joystick is worthless.
No, see what it is. You ever drive like an Oldsmobile? And you're like driving the car, and then like the wheel just has like a lot of play in it because it's designed for old people. That's what's happening right there.
Stanford. Joystick.
Joystick?
We found out not too long ago that Mariah pronounces it Joey stick.
Oh, like what?
Like a baby kangaroo.
No, I get it. But why? There's no E in there.
We don't know why.
It's that rural Kentucky affect she's got going on.
Okay.
It's the one thing I can't get rid of. I've really tried.
Which is too bad.
Joey stick.
Yeah, I want you to get your southern accent back. I think it's adorable. But no, all you say is Joey stick like a weirdo.
Except for Joey stick.
So yeah, Archer almost steers them into an asteroid, but fortunately Reed left the guns hot as a part of his tactical alert. So it turns out radiation poisoning is automatically cured when you get out of the radiation in Star Trek, which is very convenient.
Instantaneously. Yeah.
But no, it's just it's this specific type of radiation, and it's totally fine. Shut up.
Yeah, okay.
Did they ever
Trip
tell
just
us
stands back up once they clear the field.
Yeah, he's
which is
good to
incredible.
go. He's good to go. So I don't know if y'all know this, but if you're passed out for more than like 10 seconds, like you have a brain injury.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
probably nothing major, but
it depends on what's the. It's a very broad statement there.
Like, well, okay, yeah, it doesn't count if you're going to take a nap, but like, why are they passed out? I assume there was some sort of systemic lack of oxygen to their brain.
Right.
What caused them to pass out?
Fear.
Was the radiation melatonin? Was that it?
Yes, that was
Okay.
that was it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
well, I'm sorry.
No, it was just like it was like radiated alcohol, and they just drank too much, so they passed out.
See, and that was the episode in the original series.
And in TNG, weirdly.
Phlox thanks to Paul for intervening in Travis's procedure, and Archer belatedly approves Reed's new tactical protocol, just not the alarms.
Mhm.
Also, the entire time they were calling it a read alert, and I hate every single aspect of that joke. Like, it's a joke. It's a fucking bad one, and I don't like it.
So I'm not sure exactly what this was in reference to, but my final note on this episode was dorks. I feel like there was some joke or something stupid at the end that they said, but I don't remember what it was.
Archer does take the new captain's chair for a spin. Is that what you're referring to?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh. Yeah. It was, it fit perfectly because Trip had lowered it by exactly 1 centimeter.
1 centimeter. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 centimeter was all it took for him not to slip out of the chair.
Although, like, did it work? Because I feel like at the end, I don't know if Bakula's just such a bad actor, but like, it looked like he was sitting there like, it's good. And then as soon as Trip got out, he started kind of shifting uncomfortably again, and then got up to go read his preface to Paul. But like the way he physically moved in those like few seconds, it looks like Archer was like, no, it's good. It's perfect. What'd you do? I did this. Okay, great. And then he's like, no, this chair still sucks.
Oh man, this whole episode, it was just uninspired. That is the word that kept coming into my mind when I watched it.
Yeah.
Like, so this is a perfect episode, or a perfect example of a filler episode, because it's not even like episodes like
Doesn't
Dead
advance
Stop,
anybody's
for instance.
character at all in any way.
Right. It doesn't call back to any important events in the story. It doesn't lead to anything important later.
It called back to another filler episode.
It doesn't actually explore any themes at all, really.
Yeah.
Like, a thing happened, then the thing was fixed, the end.
It's just not interesting, I guess.
And I'm wondering, like, I wonder about that, because I'm curious, like, how much of episodes like this in these later shows where writers, especially because there are a lot of the same writers from like DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise, like, I'm wondering how much of these shows, these kinds of episodes, the writers were like, well, this is what a Star Trek episode looks like. But like, the reason it's okay that TOS did that is because it was new, you know?
Right.
And TNG happened 25 years later, right? So like, enough time had passed that we can do this little like cheeky homage to an earlier show, sure. But like, Enterprise did this, like, I'm sure Voyager had the same episode fucking 6 weeks ago, you know? Like, what are we doing here? Like, could we do anything new? What's the point of this?
I don't know. This one gets a 2 out of 2 stars for me. That's it.
It was 2 for me as well.
Oh, 2s across the board.
All right. There you go, everybody. We will be back in a couple of seconds here for the deep dive. All right, welcome back for this week's deep dive. So I thought this would be an appropriate time to explore famous black hole episodes in Star Trek, or black hole adjacent in a couple of situations here.
All right,
and one movie. We're actually going to start with the movie. So
only one movie.
I guess we're going to touch on another one along with Picard in a weird way, because time is weird in Star Trek. Anyway, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Have you guys like watched this recently? Do you remember like the overarching plot line?
No.
I know Viger with the Voyager probe, and it became sentient. It's a whole thing. But I don't remember the specifics. I remember their uniforms were weird.
The uniforms were weird.
And I remember Spock has like a warp shuttle.
Yes. Yeah. So do you remember how Viger, Voyager 6, winds up on the other side of the galaxy? And has to travel all the way back?
But using my context clues, I'm going to guess it's a black hole.
Hey, you would be correct. Or rather, as Spock puts it, or no, it wasn't Spock. It was the other guy that was with them. I don't remember his name. Huh?
Decker,
yeah. He says it gets sucked into what was at the time called a black hole. Meaning that I guess we have it wrong right now.
We just,
now we call them African American holes.
it's so much worse. It's so much worse.
What the fuck does that mean?
Worse. Yeah, so Viger gets sucked into what was at the time called a black hole, gets adopted by some machine inhabitants on a robot world who then build Viger a ship so that it could return to Earth to fulfill its programming. So the true impetus behind that entire movie, a black hole.
Whee! Well, a hole of color. Come on.
Jesus.
Fucking stop it right now.
Next up, chronologically, would be Discovery, the episode If Memory Serves. So this is the episode where, in her quest to help her stepbrother, Michael Burnham joins Spock on a trip to Talos 4.
Brother?
Half-brother?
They're not, well, she is adopted. She's straight up adopted. But
she is. That's right. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a step?
I don't know.
I don't think that counts as stepbrother.
Brother-in-law?
Because step-parent is when your mom or dad, or what, your parent marries another person, right? That's a step-parent. Adoptive parents, I don't think are called step-parents, are they?
No, I guess it would be like her adoptive brother.
Yeah, adoptive brother, I think.
I would just say brother. Like, I mean,
broski, brosif.
Because like I don't call my siblings half siblings,
Brotato chip.
Her dear estranged brother. So she joins Spock on a trip to Talos 4, which members of the original series might remember. The Talosians here created the illusion of a black hole around the planet to test their stubbornness, I guess. I don't know. Spock winds up just YOLOing their shuttle directly into the black hole to break the illusion. And then they realize that there's like secretly a planet underneath of that illusion.
Where did this happen?
On Talos 4.
I don't remember this episode at all. Oh, well, I guess it's Discovery. That was a while ago that I watched that.
So, do you remember the guys in the original series with the huge brains that wind up...
No. I remember Talos 4. That's the pilot. That's where Spock smiles. Yeah, it's creepy.
He yells everything.
Yeah, he does.
These were the same people.
Okay. I don't remember the black hole part, but sure. Okay.
Yeah. Next up is Strange New Worlds, Memento Mori. So this is the episode where Pike and crew use the accretion disk of a black hole in the Finibus system and a decoy explosion to avoid a Gorn destroyer that was tracking them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for clarifying which system. I was very confused.
Yeah, I thought you might like that. TNG, one of, I'm sure, Stanford's favorite episodes, Deja Q.
Yeah.
There is a moon that's had its orbit disrupted by a black hole moving through the star system, which now I have a new fear in life.
Yeah, that could happen. That's a real thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Rogue planets are also scary when you think about it.
Yeah, like we're very fortunate that just space is vast.
Well,
we're lucky that there's so much space in space.
That's the thing, right? Like the percentage chance of ever hitting. It's like the myth of like the asteroid belt, where it's like we think it's this packed belt because that's what all the pictures in Hollywood and stuff is shown. But NASA sends stuff through the asteroid belt all the time. They don't even consider it a problem. Yeah. Like the chances of hitting an asteroid in the asteroid belt are astronomically low.
That's asteroid.
Yeah.
Enterprise gets called in to help correct the moon's orbit so that it doesn't destroy the planet, and Q solves the day with Q powers because Q.
How does the Enterprise do that again? Do they just get behind the moon and push?
Yes,
there was use of a tractor beam.
God
Yep.
damn this fucking show. What the fuck?
Well,
No.
hold on. Tractor
Q-
beams are going to make another showing here. Don't
Q
worry.
uses amazing math powers to increase the power. Shut up.
But Q did?
Yes. That's the one where he like loses his Q powers though, right? Am I thinking of the
Yes.
right one? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I
he's
didn't
like
know-
temporarily human and then gives Data a
Right.
bunch of crap because Data like wants to be more human.
Right.
The amount of times that like math is the solution to things on a starship makes me, as a person who knows anything, and not a lot, but anything about computers, so fucking angry. Because like you can't give an engineered piece of equipment a different math equation and make it work better. That's not how things work.
You don't know. Maybe that's how they work in Star Trek. Shut up.
Because like in the Kelvin timeline, where the like Spock gave Scotty like the trans warp teleportation equation, and it's like, oh, well, I'll just use this teleporter right over here that we've had, and it'll just get us like. Why is that one now able to do it?
Listen, man, they just needed better crystals with more crystalline structures.
No, they didn't. Apparently, all they needed was someone to give them a fucking math equation.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
Doesn't make any
It's fine.
goddamn sense.
But continue.
Continuing. Okay, another favorite topics for Stanford. TNG again. Episode's name is Timescape. Enterprise responds to a distress call from a Romulan warbird.
That one's good.
Yeah, a species of quantum singularity life forms mistook the Romulan artificial quantum singularity drive that the Romulans use in lieu of matter antimatter reactors as a naturally occurring black hole, and
Yes, I
made their
believe-
nest there.
I believe that is the episode where, like, we as human
That
beings
lore is
watching Star
established.
Trek learned that. Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing. Because like the Romulans never put out distress calls. That's weird. And I think that's also where we learned that like we've never seen the inside of a warbird because whenever they're disabled, they explode because of the dead man switch. But I guess the nesting being somehow disabled that system or something. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah. So Enterprise does like a reverse jump cable, I guess, and tries to transfer some of the power out of the warbird, and almost kills the alien babies, who then retaliate.
Boo.
Yeah, but all ends well. They diplomatically resolve the situation, and these quantum beings just kind of like jaunt off to another time thing continuum. Yes,
Man, they
okay.
use the word quantum to mean things that doesn't make any sense. So, like, because there's quantum dimensions and shit going on in later shows.
No,
Yeah.
like quantum satisfies the same need as reverse the polarity.
Or nano.
Yeah.
Nano can be anything. Yeah.
Nano. Yeah. Next up, we get some Voyager action. Episode's name is Parallax. Not quite a black hole, but Voyager encounters a Type 4 quantum singularity and receives a distress signal from inside of the event horizon somehow, because that somehow happened, I guess. I don't know.
Star
Well,
Trek.
actually, when I put on my defending Voyager hat, it was a subspace distress signal. So technically that would work in accordance with their own pseudoscience.
Sure.
Like I
fine.
agree that Star Trek science is not always consistent. In that case, it was a faster than light distress signal.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Rob is so mad.
I am mad. They get themselves sucked in after modifying their "hey, here we come again" tractor beam by accidentally blowing a hole in the event horizon itself.
Yeah.
Good thing
Yeah,
they
they
can
do.
conveniently use that same hole to get back out again.
yeah, it's got to go fast.
Yeah, just gotta go real fast.
Yes, yeah. It's amazing how many problems on Voyager got solved because Tom Paris can go fast.
Yeah.
He's the best pilot in Starfleet.
Yeah, best, which is very funny because mostly he's just pushing buttons. Like, I'm not sure what that means in terms of going faster. Like, push the buttons faster? What does that mean?
Yeah. No,
He's
maybe
even
that's what the
better.
joystick's for.
He's even better than that one cadet who got, flushed out of Starfleet, who's a totally different person. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
they Joey's, what
Joey's
the
there.
fuck? Yeah, they look totally different.
Yeah, I don't see it. There's no resemblance.
Voyagers makes another appearance on the list as episode titled Hunters. Voyager finds a communications network being used by the Herodians in the Delta Quadrant. Each relay station is powered by a microsingularity, very akin to the Romulans' power making methods.
So, sidebar, are the Herodians just like Delta Quadrant Klingons? Is that?
Yes, that is exactly what they are. That is why they made them. I read a lot about the writing theory behind Voyager when I was looking these people up, because I had no idea how to pronounce their name.
Oh.
Yeah, they're basically just Delta Quadrant Klingons. That is what they were aiming for.
That's what they were aiming for? Huh. Their philosophy is so different that, like, I would not have faulted them if they were like, no, they're not really based on the Klingons at all. Because, like, they're not really about honor. They're not really about fighting wars. They're about hunting, right? Like, which is a different Greek god, basically. You know, it's Artemis instead of Athena.
Sure.
So, or Ares, I guess. A lot of A names. Anyways, although if I recall correctly, as far as the Herodian and this communication network is concerned, they didn't make this network either, right?
No,
like the network has just been kind of there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because there was this whole thing where where Voyager's using the network, and then like some like call operator was like, "Can you stop using our fucking network? What the hell?"
Yeah. Yeah. It was funny thinking back to the shuttle pod episode of Enterprise from last season, where T'Pol kept insisting that microsingularities weren't real, and then here we are talking about microsingularities again. So they wind up fighting one of the Herodian vessels. They try to destabilize one of the singularities, but then contain it so it doesn't like fully explode. They were just trying to mess with gravity. That doesn't work. Then they end up making a black hole by accident. So
on that communication network station.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, the final resolution that they ended up actually blowing up like every other communication station as well.
I believe that's true, yeah.
So yeah, like they destroyed the entire network because they're assholes, yeah.
Mission accomplished. And
it's
then
it's like if I had a bad encounter with like Verizon customer service, so I just burned their headquarters down.
Just start ripping up cable from underneath the ground. It's like, if I can't have it, nobody can have it.
If I melt the fiber optic with a powerful light here, does that melt it back at the depot too?
It just gives everyone on the network a strong buzzing in their ears. Like,
perfect.
Yeah. Good job. Then the last example here, and I think the one you were referring to, Stanford, the whole Kelvin timeline gets kicked off of the black hole. Ambassador Spock creates a black hole by detonating some red matter in the Romulus system to try and save the Romulus planet from its star going supernova. His ship gets sucked in along with Nero and the Narada and ejected out into the Kelvin timeline. Yeah, exactly. And we wind up with the Kelvin timeline. And I think it gets a little bit of a nod because like the opposite happens in the regular timeline, right? And that's kind of what kicks off the whole Picard storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot about that.
There you go. Black holes in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's why they pick up the old Romulan ninja, and Picard, for whatever reason, has like Romulan field tenders.
But there's no class in Star Trek. So post scarcity society. The end of that Kelvin movie, and Raffi has to live in a drug trailer for some reason. The end of that Kelvin movie, they're like warping. They're like trying to get away from the black hole because Nero's ship like blew itself up with a black hole with the red matter. Yeah. And there's this fun moment where like it was a fun moment because like scientifically I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But then they kind of fuck it up. But like they're trying to get away from the black hole, and so Pike goes punch it or whatever the fuck. And Sulu puts the Enterprise at warp, but they're so close to the black hole that they can't get away from it. And Kirk or Pike is like, why aren't we at warp? And Sulu's like, we are at warp. And then the idea is that like the space getting sucked into the black hole is moving so quickly that like you can't move fast enough. Then they just blow up their warp core and that gets them out somehow. That doesn't make any sense. But before that moment, when the ship's at maximum warp but not moving, fucking brilliant. Mwah. Beautiful, beautiful moment. The resolution was stupid, but whatever.
Just need more energy, man. You just need one big burst of energy.
Explosion!
Well, so what they should have done is realizing that going far away from the black hole is not working. They should have been projected like, I don't know, like a veer course or whatever, where they'll go sideways and slingshot through the accretion disk, which would have been relatively empty because the black holes existed for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which would have been cool. It would have been cool to watch, but instead we had to put this dumb How does blowing up your own warp drive solve the problem of your warp drive not going fast enough? Like, our warp drive's not working. I know. Eject that bitch. We don't need it.
It is well-established Star Trek lore that either blowing up or ejecting your warp core can solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, that does happen a lot.
That's true. Voyager happened a couple times. Well, the Voyager, the Intrepid's got a backup warp core.
Was that the final entry in the black hole?
That is the final entry in the black hole.
I feel like one is missing, but I can't put my finger on it. Was there not another movie that had a black hole in it?
Can't put your finger in it.
Nah.
Because it's a black hole. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think there was another movie with a black hole.
Guess not. Christ.
Welp.
Well,
all right, well.
We're going to take a little break here. Come back for some poker.
Welcome back, everybody, for our third segment of this show. This is our Potpourri, and this will come out either was on New Year's or right around New Year's. So I want to do a little bit of a theme of that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the main crew of Enterprise, and for each person, we're going to do two things. What you think the crew members' New Year's resolution would be, and what you think it should be.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
So,
do you have ones already written down, Chris?
I don't. No, we're free flowing this bad boy here.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we'll start with old Captain Archer. What do you think his resolution would be?
To do more.
To be more badass.
I was gonna say not give Porthos cheese, but.
But yeah, if you want to be lame, yeah.
Sure. To earn the undying admiration of his crew.
Oh,
to prove to everyone that he's as awesome as he thinks he is.
Excellent. All right, what do you think it should be?
Acting lessons.
No, we're talking about Archer, not Scott Bakula.
Sorry.
What it should be is to actually think his action through before performing it.
Quality. Spend more time thinking. Stanford, do you have another one besides for Scott Bakula?
I need him to stop assuming that he is the only one who knows what the best course of action is. Like, take a moment and take better input.
Mm-hmm. Actually listen to your senior staff.
Yes.
I was going to go with stop being a whiny bitch.
I feel
is
like
that what he should do, or what he wants to do?
What he
doesn't
should do.
think he's a whiny bitch. Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. That's his should do, not what he thinks it
he's
would
a big boy. He does big boy things.
Yes. All right. So let's go on to Paul.
Oh, what does she think? Finally catch up on all of the entries into the Vulcan database.
Quality. Stanford.
Just get through one more year of this.
We'll go with something boring, like find more M-class planets or Minchara class planets. For what she would do. So what I think she should do is, get a new outfit, like something maybe with pants and a shirt, not like one skin tight jumpsuit.
I think that what she should do is stop taking input from other people about her own Vulcan heritage and culture, because it never ended well.
Fair.
I'm gonna need her to be less of a doormat to these assholes.
It's kind of in the same vein here.
A little bit, but even more so in like everyday operations, not just in putting up with their microaggressions.
Solid. All right, let's move on to Trip Tucker. What do you think his would be?
To make friends with every single person on the ship.
How could he not, though? He's so friendly.
I was like, oh man, I still got 2 more crew members to get into my friends club.
Finally clean the plasma conductors, because he has mentioned that in like at least 2 episodes this season.
You know, it's funny. I had a note about that earlier. Yeah,
I did too.
Purging the intake manifolds.
I was like, wow, there's so much purging on this ship.
I don't know. Never miss a slice of Chef's pecan pie. It's delicious. What it should be, man.
Stop idolizing Archer.
Ooh, yeah, that's quality.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
How about stay the fucking engineering?
Never.
Listen, it's a very small ship. It's just a little walk. Don't worry.
Man, it's funny because I was showing Liam. I showed Liam First Contact a week ago, and then last weekend I showed him because he's like, I want to watch another one with Data in it, because apparently Data is now his favorite fucking character, which is fun.
Cool.
So I'm like, well, fine, we'll go watch Generations. But they make a joke in there because like the Klingon sisters have like, Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell gives them like a spy tap into Geordi's visor. And the sisters comment at one point, it's like, for the chief engineer, he doesn't seem to spend a lot of time in engineering, which is clearly like a jab at like all of Star Trek.
Right, yeah. Okay, still need to go. Let's say avoid alien sex crystals. Nobody needs another trip nipple.
Nipple trip.
All right.
Trip.
Trip nipple. Malcolm Reed.
I think he would resolve to finally get over his pineapple allergy.
It's a weakness. That and my aquaphobia. Yeah, that's it. He's going to resolve to work on his aquaphobia.
I would say he's going to his would be to tighten up the I don't know, decorum of the officers of the ship. He's always complaining about it.
That's true.
What it should be is
can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just stop. just stop being anything like himself, because he is awful, and I hate every moment of his fucking on-screen presence.
Aww. But the Trip Reed bromance is so good.
It's so harsh.
I swear to everything that man says drives me insane.
Yeah, I mean, I was just go with loosen the fuck up, but we'll go with yours.
So would it be fair to say stop being so British? Is that a good one?
I think that might be primarily the issue.
Not British, just painfully British.
Yeah,
Picard
is British, I think. I don't know. He might also be French, because who the fuck can tell? But like,
well, that's Picard, right? Because he's French, except he has an English accent.
He's not painfully British, right?
Yeah. No, you know what it is. It's not that he needs to stop being British. He needs to stop being stereotypically British.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Picard was most British when he said "here" in a weird way. The line must be drawn here. And no fun.
Engage.
All right. Travis Mayweather.
Pull more pranks.
Yes, damn it.
Come on.
Ha.
Pull
the ultimate prank? I don't know.
Do more dead gravity spot somersaults.
I was gonna say, like, get to spend more time on the bridge for more screen time.
Yeah, that's what he should do. What should he do? What should his New Year's resolution be?
Like, stand up for yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're an expert. You've been in space more than any of these other people except for maybe T'Pol.
I was gonna say, find a better identity than where you grew up.
Or actually lean into it.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what? Find a better identity than where you grew up, or like the label that Hoshi has applied to you.
Right. Yeah. Or I guess being a prankster. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just from a character perspective, he has a lot of tell, don't show, and he needs to show more.
Right.
All right. Hoshi. What would Hoshi's New Year's resolution be?
She's going to say to herself that she needs to overcome imposter syndrome. Because I don't think she believes she's actually done so yet. Twice.
I think that she will resolve that she just needs to accept the fact that Japanese food on the whole is very salty. And that just comes with the territory.
Whoa. Shots fired.
It's not shots fired. Like, the Japanese diet consists of almost 3 times the recommended level of sodium on the average. Like, I remember reading about this. It's pretty crazy.
Did not know
it's
that.
my promised land. Did y'all know that I'm like medically incapable of eating too much salt?
Yeah, weren't you given salt tablets?
I was, yeah. The
hospital?
doctor prescribes me salt, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because you made the joke of like, so should I just eat more salt? And they're like, no. And then they gave you salt tablets.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, if you could just help your salt intake a little bit, we wouldn't have to give you tablets. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll try. Because I don't have a very salty palate, but then I'm like hypotensive and quadriplegic. So it's like, your blood pressure sucks. Like, it's nothing. It's hard to find any blood in your veins. So like, can you eat some salt, please? All right.
Shit. Okay. So what should Hoshi's be?
Just be more confident in yourself. Like, she's an expert that was hired for a reason. Like, she should have some faith in her capabilities.
I agree.
She's good at her job.
She needs to resolve to say no whenever they ask her to plan parties or cook.
Stop.
God
Don't
damn it.
allow yourself to be put in classical women's roles.
Like, God damn it.
You are a military officer.
And also, when you do, don't do like weirdly, overly Japanese stuff too, because I feel like we're getting dangerous with that territory too.
Yeah. I mean,
Her
it's a
actress isn't Japanese either, which is kind of
Is
weird.
she Korean?
She's Korean.
Park,
yeah.
right? Yeah, Park is her name. Linda Park. That aside, it's like, when are they going to trot her out in a kimono? Because it's got to be soon. Like, they've got to make that final like leap of inappropriateness, right?
I'm trying to remember if they ever do. I don't recall that, but
you know what's fucking funny? Is like, she could have just been Korean. Like, the character. The character could have just been Korean.
Like, they could have changed that like after they cast her too.
Right. I understand that Hoshi, I don't know if Hoshi's an actual Japanese surname or not. But like, they could have just changed it to a Korean surname and called it a day.
Like Park.
Like, her character would be literally no different, except it would be actually respectful to her and her culture.
No, it's fine.
Well,
it's
especially
2000s.
given the history between Japan and Korea.
Right. But I feel like the thing is that they feel, and this is exactly what it is, because George Takei is Japanese and Sulu was Japanese. Hikaru,
Yeah.
right? So like, so we're going to have an Asian on the bridge. Gasp, diversity. Well, she'll be Japanese. That's our comfort level.
Yeah.
It is weird.
All right. Well, I got 2 more.
Okay.
Flux, the doctor. What would his be? What would his
More
New Year's
pets.
resolution be?
More
I
pets.
would like to just remind everybody that when you are setting goals, it's important to make them measurable.
No, stop it.
Realistic.
No,
Get that shit at work.
Realistic.
Fuck that shit. No, not
It's
realistic.
helpful to break them into smaller steps and to maybe schedule a time frame when
No,
we're
we
setting
need to
goals.
wildly shoot for the stars here.
Okay.
Yeah, these aren't goals. These are New Year's resolutions.
That's right.
Flux's goals are to earn more MDs.
Get more doctorates. Yep.
Frankly,
Get
more
more
pets
PhDs.
More
is an
pets.
achievable step-by-step goal that anyone can have.
I would say keep his cliff scalers nice and trim.
Well, how many pets and in what time frame
All right.
would he obtain these
All of
pets?
the pets immediately.
As soon
I was
as
going to say,
possible.
at what point does it become
January 1st.
This is where we become very, very obvious that Mariah is a physical therapist.
All right. What should his resolution be?
You want to field this one there, producer? Yeah.
I don't know shit about fuck about this show. I don't watch this shit.
Oh, it all comes out now.
What should
I've
it
watched
be?
2 episodes and they were not good.
And one of them involved fucking a space slug.
Oh shit.
And the other one was about being horny.
Hell, that's like
That
most
does
of them.
not narrow it down.
All right. What should it be? It should be I don't know. Smile more.
I was going to say, learn what a socially acceptable smile looks like.
So we would say make it a point to smile at least 1 to 3 times per day. That would be measurable and reasonable.
Even though he's a man, that feels like the most sexist thing I've ever heard as a sentence.
Look, if I leave the goals and resolutions vague, I can't be held responsible for it when I don't accomplish them, okay?
I'm going to be honest. No notes, Phlox. You keep doing you.
All right, last, Porthos.
I was going to say, is it good? Is it going to be Porthos? I was trying to think of one other
Porthos.
character.
Of course it's Porthos.
Okay, his goal is going to be get people to give him more cheese.
100%.
Yes.
I have a goal for Porthos.
Is it
To pee
Oh.
on more sacred alien objects.
excellent
Yes.
quality? I love
Oh,
it.
that was the
That's a good
episode she saw.
callback.
Yeah.
And what it should be is clearly continue to be the goodest boy in Starfleet.
Yeah. I mean, he needs to somehow manage to step it up, but it's not possible because he's already the goodest.
He's the goodest. He can't be any better.
Can't be any gooder, and yet he'll still manage to do it, I'm sure.
He will. He will.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that wraps up our third segment of the day. Any final thoughts?
Oh my God. So that means that after this episode, we'll be in a new year.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Because, like, I put the metadata on all these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm going to have to update the year. Crazy.
Time marches on.
We've been doing this for what is this? Episode 9 of season 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 35 weeks straight.
Wow.
It's longer than Kim Kardashian was married.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen to them 2010s current events right there.
All right. Well, with that, we will catch you all. Oh, am I forgetting something? Do we usually do something at the end?
Yeah, we sure do. But no, it's okay. You forgot during the last episode that I just edited as well. So this works out.
I decided I'm done with this podcast. Okay, it's over. Yes. So yes. Comment. Leave 5-star reviews. We are 5-star men. Share us with your friends. Do
And
all
a
those
woman.
things. Anything to add? Did I miss anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, we will catch you all next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.